It's time to cook with Susan Beck. Well, today we're going to make potato soup. And when I go through my recipe files, under the soup category, I have 6 recipes just for potato soup. And if you open my Pinterest board, I'm sure you'll find a few more. Well, I kind of go in between and back and forth and make it with what I have and things I'd like to use up and so forth. But the basic part of potato soup is always the same. First of all, you need some kind of potatoes and you need some type of broth. Now, if you watched last week's video, I will show you how I took my Christmas ham bone and boiled my ham right off of that bone and ended up with a couple cups of yummy, yummy, beautiful ham. Nothing goes to waste at my house, whether it's the turkey carcass, the chicken, or those ham bones. We always boil that meat off and it makes great casseroles, or in this case, soup today. My husband also loves to make split pea soup out of that ham. I usually like some onions anytime I make a soup. They just really add a lot of flavor to that. From there, it's kind of up to you on what you'd like to use. I'm going to use a couple chopped stalks of celery today, and one of my recipes calls for carrots, and I happen to have carrots. Some of the recipes call for cheese to just be drizzled on the top like as a little topping when you serve it. Some call for cheese in it, making it a cheesy potato soup. I was playing around with my new shredder and slicer and decided to shred up some cheddar cheese for today's recipe. I have come to really like to pre-cook my vegetables when I'm making a soup. Yes, you can just throw them right into the pot with everything else and let them simmer, and eventually the carrots and the celery all become soft. But there's just something about that cooking things twice, and I really like to saute my vegetables. So my carrots, my celery, and my onions are going to go over to the stove with me, along with some herbs that I have dried, not really dried, but preserved in olive oil. And I will post the link to this video as well. So I'm going to use, these are about a tablespoon inside one ice cube tray. That one has some thyme leaves saved in it, and this one has some oregano leaves saved in it. I'll post the link on how I saved my fresh herbs just for this purpose in the winter. In a large saucepan, over medium heat, I am melting those olive oil cubes that I took out of my freezer that have my oregano and my thyme that I saved from my fresh herbs in my garden this summer. And to that, I will be adding in the onions and the carrots and the celery to make my sofrito, as the Italians would say. That's anytime you kind of saute up in some oil some fresh vegetables. Okay, olive oil is pretty well melted here, so in goes celery, the onion, and some of the carrots I'm going to save for the salad, but a handful of those shredded carrots. And then I just want to cook those until they're just a little more tender, especially the celery and the onions. And it's just this extra richness that comes when these vegetables are cooked twice, both here and put into the pot that's going to simmer. Well, speaking of that pot that needs to simmer, I am going to get that pot turned on. I'm going to start it off on high until I get it nice and warm. And into that pot, I am going to go ahead and put my potatoes. My potatoes will do all of their cooking in our broth. Now today, as I mentioned, I have that ham broth that I made by boiling down my ham bone. Again, I'll post that link. There's probably about 12 cups of liquid in there. Now you can do this with a vegetable stock and leave out the ham. It's up to you if you'd like, more of a vegetarian version. I usually make this with chicken stock if I don't have the ham broth that is boiled off from my ham bone, if I'm just using a chunk of ham from the store, because you can just go in and buy a ham steak or some ham, or if you've got slices of ham left over from another meal, those can go in. And speaking of meat, it doesn't have to be ham either. I've made this with little smoky sausages chopped into pieces. You could use Italian sausage in it. Bacon, that's a really common one in potato soup. Some of the recipes even call for bacon and ham. Today I'm going to stick just with the ham and cook it in the ham broth. But you know, soup, you can just do whatever you want with whatever you have. So now and then I'm going to stir this with my wooden spoon as this sofrito cooks in the olive oil. But I'm also going to get my potatoes started. Now my potatoes today are sliced. You can do them sliced. I usually do them in cubes, but I again was playing around with that new slicer I got and decided that I wanted to do it with my new machine because it's always kind of fun to try something new. And I'll post the link for that machine as well. I'm going to put the lid on those potatoes because I do want that to kind of come up to a simmer. There's the sofrito, and you can just tell that those onions are becoming a little more clear or translucent. Everything is cooking nicely, I would say, but those are done. All right, so let's move this batch of vegetables into our broth. And then I'm going to let that simmer for a bit because my ham is already cooked, so I don't need that in there as well. And I am always going to add some kind of either cream or milk, or today I have a can of evaporated milk that I'm going to put in. Just something to give my potato soup just a little bit of that creaminess that comes from adding that dairy. Again, if you don't like dairy, there's nothing wrong with having this with just the broth. And the other thing that I am going to put into there is some salt and some pepper. So I'm probably going to do about a teaspoon of salt for the moment and several good cranks on my pepper grinder. Salt and pepper, an absolute must with soup. The other absolute must with soup is you just have to taste it. Don't ever put a pot of soup on the table to serve if you haven't tasted it yet, because adjusting the seasonings is just key to your soup being a success. The other thing is, it's again, that cooking. For some reason, when you cook with the salt and the pepper in the soup, it tastes totally different than if you say, well, we'll just add it at the table. So, you know, to some extent add it. People can add a little more if, you know, you're trying to watch your salt intake and don't want to salt the entire product. But salt and soup, they just go together. Turn my soup down to low. I don't need it cooking quite that hard. I do want a few little bubbles, but not a rolling boil. So I put a little of the broth in my bowl. It definitely needs more salt and pepper. That's almost always the case. Like I said, be sure you taste it. Let's add that. Now, it's a good sized pot. When you start out with 12 cups and you're going to add, you know, a cup to 2 cups of another liquid, being that we're going to use that evaporated milk today. So you need something to flavor all those liquids. Those potatoes are getting close to done, so I am going to add in my couple cups of ham, and I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of parsley, and then we're going to add whatever dairy you decided to use. I used this evaporated milk once when I didn't have any cream or didn't have any, I don't know, maybe I wanted it a little richer, I guess, than just our 1% milk. And I tried evaporated milk and was actually quite pleased with the results of that. Just something to give it a little creaminess. So in goes my can of evaporated milk. Give that a stir. We're going to let it simmer still a little longer because we want to warm up that ham and warm up that milk. And the potatoes, they're not quite done anyway. And then I do want to give it one more taste to see how we're doing with our spices here. So we've added more liquid now, so it might need a little adjustment. That's not too bad. Not too bad. I think a touch more of the salt maybe add a little oregano and thyme. There's not a ton of that in my little ice cubes. So we'll add those things and let it simmer just a little bit longer. It's almost ready. Just got a light simmer going on. And we just want to do that for a while because this is how the flavors meld together. In fact, you know, with a casserole and soups, have you ever noticed they actually taste better the next day? And I think it's because of how those flavors start to blend. So how do you know when your soup's done? Well, when you taste it and those seasonings are well adjusted and it's a flavorful broth, and when those potatoes are nice and soft and no longer... I'm going to add a little cheddar cheese to mine tonight. Again, optional. You could also melt the cheese inside, or Parmesan would be another great suggestion for the top. It's still piping hot. I've got some nice chunks of ham in there with my potatoes. It's just perfect on these cold winter days. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And very tasty too. So be sure to check out my video on many different ways you can make potato soup. I'll post all the options below in the description, along with links to how to cook your ham bone so that you can make your broth and your meat using your discarded Christmas or Easter hams. And my video is also posted on how to use this wonderful fresh prep slicer and shredder, which I use to get all of my vegetables ready for today's recipe.